Hello friends, welcome to the Loka and IS Academy Pune. I am Sumeet Katyarmal. I am going to take the strategy lecture for the UPSC Political Science and International Relation optional batch. So before going to start our strategy lecture, let's see the agenda of the today's strategy lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to cover first, as my every lecture starts with the quote. So the first thing we are going to see is the quote of the day. Second, that how to choose the optional for the UPSC. Third thing, that how to choose, why the PSR is the so much important optional for the your UPSC preparation and the exam. The fourth thing, what is the syllabus of the PSR, that is the political science and international relation optional. The next thing is how this optional is going to benefit you to fetch a highest amount of marks, and second, the good post in the UPSC final rank list. The next thing is the overlapping of the subject of the PSR and the other GS, and how it is going to benefit you with the other UPSC related different subjects. So let's start with our strategy lecture. That the quote of the day is, to succeed in life you need two things, that is first is the ignorance and second is the confidence. This is the quote from the Mark Twain, that in the UPSC preparation the first thing you need is the ignore. That why ignorance is needed? Because the UPSC syllabus is so much vast and you need to ignore some part of the syllabus, rather than syllabus, what we can say, the subject, because here the main strategy is to fetch the highest amount of marks. For that, what is going to read, what need to be right, that you need to focus on. The second thing is the confidence. The whatever you are going to learn, you need a highest amount of confidence to write, to produce it in a better manner. That confidence you will take definitely through the our optional batch. The first thing is of the three steps to choose the UPSC optional. First is a filter. That the very most important thing while choosing the optional is your interest. That you have to find your interest of in which subject, and then you can shortlist the certain optionals. Let's say you have the interest in the politics, then the PSR is one. Second is the governance, then the public administration related. Third, history. So these 2-3 optional which are common in the UPSC students or the aspirants, you can choose among them. And why PSR is the better one? Then second, then evaluate the syllabus and the marks, that the success rate. The syllabus of the PSR optional is going to overlap with the different GS subjects, which you are going to benefit more than 1250 marks of the total UPSC related subjects. Then you have to choose your optional for the preparation. So let's start. That the why is a PSI. First, it is a non-technical subject, that even if you don't have some background related the political science and the international relation, then also you can take this subject as your optional. Second thing, the aspirants find very easily to comprehend and study this subject because of the availability of the notes, the availability of the multiple reference books, and the easy to read, easy to comprehend that subject. Next thing, it is very easy to understand and develop the correlation with the current topics, as the UPSC preparation is more or less about the current events, its its relevance and relation with the your complete syllabus of either GS or the optional subject. And this PSR subject, especially the paper 1 part 2 and the complete paper 2, is related with your current affairs. So that correlation with your current affairs is very much important for your PSR related study. Then diversity of the subject with exciting political and international events, that the complete PSR is overlapping, as you read every day in any newspaper, either it is a Hindu, the Express, the Indian Express, or any local newspaper, you will find multiple news related only or majoritarily, we can say, with the politics or the international relation. Even the economy related news can be correlate with the politics. Even the environment related news we can correlate with the politics. So that is beneficial for your optional. The next thing is the overlapping of the many parts within the syllabus of the PSR. As in the PSR syllabus, the paper 1 part A, we can see the overlapping of it with the part 2 and the paper 2 of the PSR. Even within the paper 1 part A, there are the multiple parts like the Western political thoughts or the ideologies which are completely overlapping in nature. That overlapping, first thing, reduces your time to prepare, and second, it gets greater command over your subject. That overlapping can help you to study it in a better manner and in easy manner. Next is a overlapping of this subject with the GS syllabus. As the complete PSR syllabus overlap with your complete GS2 syllabus, that is a paper 2 of the GS, which is related to the politics, governance, social justice and the international relation. So while studying with the PSR with the 500 marks optional, you can prepare 250 marks GS syllabus. So that is the first benefit, major benefit of the PSR. While preparing for only for the optional, you can completely cover your GS2 paper. The next thing is easy availability of the simplified material. I prepared my own material, handwritten notes, which I am going to provide you within the class. That is completely beneficial and comprehensive nature to fulfill your demand of the subject and the papers. Next, it provides huge help in the essay and the ethics. These are the two papers of the UPSC having total 500 marks, and the recent trend of the essay and the ethics, which is more is inclined towards the philosophical in the nature, and that philosophy is related with the optional thinkers. So while studying with these optional thinkers, you can get a very good command over your essay. That I also faced 137 marks in the essay. So that will help you in dealing with the essay topics which find a student very difficult in the nowadays to write a philosophical essay. That means while preparing with the PSR having the 500 marks, you can prepare first is the GS2 having the 250 marks, second essay having the 250 marks, and third ethics which is having the another 250 marks. That means while preparing with the PSR having the 500 marks, you can prepare, you are actually preparing completely for the 1250 marks, which is more than the 70, almost 60 to 70% of the complete UPSC marks. So these are the certain benefits of the PSR. So let's see the brief introduction of the PSR. So it is nothing but the statecraft. So what is a statecraft and all these things? You every day read a newspaper, and whenever you go, either on a chai for the chai or any dinner, lunch, wherever you go, you will find that multiple people or everyone is going to talk about the politics and the international year. Even the today's, as the Karnataka election is happened, the everyone is going to talk about the Karnataka election results, its implication, its future of the different political parties, and everyone is going to put forward their views on every subject related to politics. That means everyone is engulfed with the politics and the international relation related subjects. So that is the complete our PSR optional. As everyone have the interest in the politics, they can definitely easily comprehend these subjects. So before going for the PSR optional, let's see the syllabus of the optional. The syllabus, that is a section A of the optional. The first, it talks about the political theory, that is its meaning and the approaches. The second point is related to the theories of the state, that these theories of state is a liberal state, then the Marxist state, neoliberal state, feminist state. As we have the liberal, as India is moving towards the liberal state, then the Marxist, or we can say the somewhat communist state, are majorly linked with the Russia or China. So these things everyone knows in the every day. So these are the theories of state, different theories or the views of the state. That feminist theory of the state, that means the what is the view of the female gender towards the state as an entity which governs the every subject. The next is a justice, which is one of the important thing in the politics, that what are the conception of the justice, and among this justice the major important thing is a Rawls theory of the justice. Okay. Then next is a concept of the equality, then rights, as everyone have wants the rights are complete. Our constitution is talking about the fundamental rights and our duties. So that rights are actually mentioned in our political science part 1 syllabus. What are the rights, what is the origin of the rights, what is the Locke's theory of the right. Okay. So these are the things we are going to see in the paper 1 part 1. Next is a democracy. What are the types of the democracy, what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, what is the presidential form of the government, and all these things. Where is the how the democracy emerged over a period of time from the ancient to the modern time, how it is going to evolve. All these things we are going to prepare in the democracy subject. Then next is a concept of power. As we see that politics is nothing but completely for the power acquisition. So that power is we are going to see in the our part 1 syllabus, that what is the hegemony, what is the meaning of the ideology, what is the legitimacy, what is the difference between all these things, what are the ways to acquire this power. So these are the things we are going to see in the our part 1. Next is the political ideologies. This is the one of the important point in our syllabus. This political ideology is talking about liberalism, socialism, Marxism, Gandhism, then the feminism. And you see the overlapping of these ideologies with the political thought, that is a Western political thought. That is a political thought of the Plato, Aristotle, Marx, Machiavelli, Gandhi. All these thoughts are Western and the Indian political thought. All these thoughts are overlapping with our ideology part. So this is nothing but the repetition of the syllabus, the complete part, that is a Western political thought and the Indian political thought. So this is a part A of our syllabus. Then second is a section B, which is talking about the Indian government and the politics. Here we are going to see related with our complete constitution, how it is evolved, the even the India's freedom struggle, that is the Indian nationalism, political strategy of the India's freedom struggle. That means all these first 3 points is related with our history. That means you are going to prepare the GS1 part 1, that is a modern history related part. That means almost 30 to 40 marks. So this is also in addition with the 1250. So next is a perspective on the Indian national movement, that is the liberal, socialist, Marxist. Again it is a repetition of our Western political thought, that is a correlation, how we can use the section in the section B. Next is a making of the Indian constitution, that our legacies, what is the role of the government of India Act 1935, what is the role of the British constitution, what is the role of the then US constitution. All these things we are going to see in our part 2 of the paper 1. Next is a salient features of the Indian constitution, that is our preamble, our fundamental rights, our DPSP, fundamental duties. We are going to see in detail what is its relevance, how it is changing, how they are actually evolving over a period of time, how these fundamental rights are going to help the human to secure a good life. So these are the things we are going to see in our paper 1 part 2. Next is a multiple principal organs of the union government, state government, its organs, that is a legislature, executive, judiciary. All these things we are going to see in the part B. Then next, one of the most important thing is a grassroots democracy, that is the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendment, that is our Panchayat Raj system. So that we are going to see how it is important, how it evolved, what are the lacunas in the present system, how we can remove it. So that we are going to see. Next is a statutory different institution, statutory institution, that a constitutional institution like the constitutional bodies of the election commission, okay, CAG, then the finance commission, all these constitutional body, as well as the statutory body of different commission like National Human Rights Commission, National Commission for Minorities, all these things. Then the federalism, planning and the economic development, which is related with your paper 3, especially the economy related part. Next is a role of the caste, religion, ethnicity in the Indian polity. This is the thing which we talk every day in our life. That what is the role of the caste in the political development, political parties. Okay, then the fetching of the votes. All these things we are going to see in our part B of the optional paper 1. Next is a party system. What is a party system in India? Okay, how it evolved. Okay, what is a one party system, multi party system. Okay, all these things, how they are going to benefit the democracy, which is more beneficial for the Indian society. This we are going to see in the our part B. Next is a paper 2 section A, which is completely related with the comparative political analysis and the international politics. This paper 2 majority talks about the international relation. So in this, first we are going to talk about the comparative politics. Next, state in the comparative politics. What is the difference between the Indian state, other states, how it actually evolved, all these things, how the state is changing in the modern period. Like before 1991, what is the definition of the India as a state, then evolving India after 1991, after the LPG reforms. So these we are going to see in the state in the comparative perspective. Next is the politics of the representation and the participation. That is the role of the political parties, pressure groups, okay, different groups which are present in the system, their influence on the governance, the political system, political parties, their relation with them. So all this we are going to see in. The next is a globalization. Even you can see in the paper 2, globalization word comes more than 3 times. Okay, so that is completely overlapping of the syllabus in the paper 2 as well as paper 1. Next is the approaches to the study of international relation. Again, idealism, realism, Marxism, functionalism, all these things we actually learn in the paper 1 part 1. So they are completely overlapping, which having the correlation with them. Definitely there is a difference with the paper 1 and the paper 2, but yes, we can write some parts from the paper A, part A from the paper 1 to the paper 2. Next is the key concept in the international relation. That is a national interest, which is a so much important for the every nation to preserve and the protection of the national interest. Then is a security, power, what is the balance of power, different alliances for maintaining the security, balance in the world politics. This we are going to see in the. Then changing international political order, that is emergence of the superpower, the strategic and the ideological bipolarity. That is, as we know that USA is one of the superpower, we can say earlier 2015. Now emerging China is another, some thinkers are saying the emerging superpower. And the next thing is India also emerging as one of the major power in this geopolitics. So that things we are going to learn in the international political order, changing international political order. So what is the role of the India during the Cold War, then the nuclear threat to the India, all these things. Then next is the evolution of the international economic system, that the different systems like the World Bank, IMF, recently emerging the Asian Development Banks, all these international institution or the regional economic institution, how they are going to help India to emerge as one of the major power in the geopolitics. The next is a different international institutions like the United Nations, then the regionalization of the world politics like the EU, that is the European Union, then the ASEAN, APEC, SAARC, NAFTA, all these regional institutions, how they are playing a key role in the recent international politics, that we are going to see. Then there is the contemporary global concerns like the democracy, that in the present time multiple thinkers are saying the democratic values of the whole world is somewhat, we can see, declining, rise of the right. So these things we are going to see. Then the concern of the environment is emerging nowadays, as we see the global warming related problems everyone is facing. So that things, environment related politics at the international level, we are going to learn about it. Then the human rights issue, everyone knows the human rights violation in the our neighboring nation, that is Afghanistan. So that these likes examples we are going to write in the our paper 2. Next is a section B of the India, and section B majorly focuses on the India and the world, that is the India's relation with the world, different institutions and the multiple nations. First is the India's foreign policy. What are the determinants of the India's forest policy? How is actually evolved over a period of time, from the time to time, how India actually changed itself from the NAM to the multiple alignments in the present time. So all we are going to see what is the continuity and the change in the Indian foreign policy, like the emerging of the USA like the nations as a one of the good friend of the India, with the maintenance of the good relation with the Russia. So all these things we are going to learn in the paper 2 section B. Then India's contribution to the NAM. Even the NAM we are going to see 2 to 3 times in the paper 2. That means completely overlapping of a particular topic in the paper 2. Next is a India and the South Asia, which is so much relevant in our GS2 as well. That means while preparing for the optional, you can also prepare for the your GS2. There is no need to allocate a separate time for the GS2 preparation. That means India and the South Asia, which is a very hot topic, very important topic for your UPSC 2023. Then the regional cooperation like the SARC, is performance and the future prospect. Then the India's Lucas policy, emerging Actis policy, all these things we are going to see in the paper 2. Next, India and the global south, that is a the emergence of the BRICS like nation, emergence of the IPSA. Okay, all these things we are going to see in our paper 2. These organizations which are in the news every day, so that organization study through the newspaper, which are going to benefit you in your optional preparation. The next is India and the UN system, that India is demanding and multiple nations are also supporting India's permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. So India's relation with the UN, India's contribution in the UN peacekeeping forces, India's permanent seat stature, all these things we are going to learn. Then the next is India and the nuclear question, that is India as a nuclear power, India as a responsible nuclear nation. So all these things how it is going to change the perception and the policies of the whole world regarding the nuclear weapon state. Okay. Next is recent developments in the India's foreign policy. So what is the position of the India in the recent crisis of the Afghanistan? What is the position of the India in the recently ongoing war between the Russia and the Ukraine? So the recent development in the international politics and the role of India and its position in the international events like the Russia-Ukraine issue, the Middle East crisis, the India's role in the Afghanistan, India's role in the South China Sea related disputes. So all these things we are going to learn in the paper 2 part 2. So this is the complete our PSI syllabus, which is actually it is so much vast, but it is having the multiple overlapping, that the one your command on the Western political thought and Indian political thoughts going to fetch you a lot of marks. Okay. So all these things are going to benefit you to secure the marks in the not only in the PSR as optional, in your essay and the as well as in your ethics. So it is actually for looking, it is a very vast syllabus, but it is so much interesting as well. It is so much easy to remember as well. The preparation of the one part is going to help you in the another, and its correlation makes you it more interesting. So that's why it is one of the major optional subject which are taken by the UPSC aspirants. Okay. So the success rate of the optional is one of the highest one. It is almost from 8 to 10%. Okay. Sometimes it is 9.4, 8%, and you will see the toppers in the first 10 rankings, first 100 ranking, 2 to 3 students in the first 10 rankings from the PSR every year. So this is the impact or the relevance of this PSR as a subject as optional in the UPSC. You will find the multiple top rank holders having the optional in the PSR, and the reason for that you can fetch a very high amount of marks in the PSR, that is more than even the 300 marks and the 320 plus marks in the PSI with the multiple revisions and command over the your answer writing. And for that purpose you need a command over your paper 1 part 1, that is especially the thinker. So these are the marks of the different aspirants. That is Jatin sir secured the 307 marks, that the Dongre that secured the 327 marks, even the Trupti Rodmise ma'am secured the 313 ma'am 313 marks. So these are the one of the highest marks secured in the PSR as a optional subject. So they are the, this is a book list of the PSIR, that especially the major important is the IGNOU notes for your complete optional subject. Then the for the part 1, that is OP Gauba as well as the Sushila Ramaswamy for your Western political thought. So that is also going to help you. Then the for the paper 2, that is the Oxford handbooks वगैरह. Then the for the polity DD Basu, these are the multiple notes, multiple books list is actually given for your preparation. Then the for the paper 2 as well, majorly important is your newspaper, your articles and its correlation with your syllabus, correlation with the different topics in the newspaper. So that is so much important for your optional. So how will be the journey of our complete PSR as an optional course? So we are going to conduct daily 2.5 to 3 hours class, which is a 5 days a week. That why this much of the hours, that is a 2.5 and the 3 hours class. The reason for that is we are going to start first with our code. Every class we are going to start with the code. That code explanation is going to help you in both is the essay and second is the ethics. Then second thing in our class is the daily revision of the previous class for the 10 to 15 minutes. That means within the class there is complete revision of the previous classes and the syllabus is going to happen. So this is the another second thing. And the third is daily answer writing of the previous year questions as well as the current questions. So these are the things is going to take for the 30 minutes. So for this purpose, as we are going to see in every class, sir, we are devoting almost 1 to 1.5 hour for this complete things and 1.5 to 2 hours for our lecture that is a teaching part. So these are we are going to cover in our lecture. That is it is a complete 2.5 to 3 hours class where the daily revision answer writing is going to happen. We are going to write the 200 plus questions within the class as well as 200 plus question at the as a homework. Then you have the 2 days off, that is on the Saturday and the Sunday, for the purpose of the first revision and second in the notes making, which is the one of the important part of the your preparation. So the basic part is why you need to choose the Loka and IS Academy. The first thing, we are assuring you that we are going to cover the holistic coverage of the complete optional syllabus. We are not missing any topic, not even any point as well. So we are going to cover the complete syllabus. The next thing is a periodic revision, that majority of the classes completed their teaching part, but they don't have any concern about how much students are actually. So majority of the classes don't have any concern about the retention of the syllabus, retention of the teaching parts, all these things they don't have any concern. And third thing about the, even after teaching, that are the students able to write a good answer, that is a answer writing, which is so much important for the our UPSC preparation, which are going to fetch the marks, which are so much important for the getting a good rank. So all these things we are going to focus in our batch. The next thing is a simplified and the crisp notes. My handwritten notes I am going to provide you directly, and second the class notes, which are so much comprehensive in the nature that you don't require any of the material to refer for the your complete syllabus. So class notes and the handwritten notes are sufficient for the fetching more than 300 marks. The next is the fulfillment of demand of the examination, that we are not going to cover the like PhD like syllabus. We are going to cover what is given by the UPSC. That things we are strict with the given syllabus. So as we want a good rank within a short period of time, so for that purpose we are stick with the syllabus. Next is we are going to personal attention. I personally checks the answer of every student, okay, and we are going to give the personal attention, as well as I am going to give the task to the every student over a period of time to deliver a 5 to 10 minutes lecture of the previous lectures, so that their ability will develop to gain a more confidence, which is so much important for the interview as well. Then so these are the benefits of our Lokan Academy. We are going to cover the complete syllabus. We are going to cover this whole PSR optional syllabus within the 4 to 5 months. Almost 120 to the 130 lectures I am going to take for the completion of the whole this subject. So my purpose is to create the interest in the syllabus as well as the optional paper, and to make you to secure the one of the highest marks in the PSR optional. So I welcome we all in the Lokan IS Academy in the future, and I hope you will join this academy for the GS as well as the optional batch. Thank you.